Welcome back to our LA travel and poker vlog extravaganza. Today is day 2.
At the RFID tables with some special guests. Super fun vlog today.
Not only do I get in an insane pot with Wolfgang Poker, me and Rosie might go at it a little bit too. We hope you guys enjoy.
Let's get into it. Welcome back to our LA vlog, day 2, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being on this journey with us. We just hit 50,000 subscribers. Oh my goodness. Seriously, cannot thank you all enough. This has been such an awesome ride. And because we hit 50,000, very special and fun announcement coming this week. So make sure you're subscribed if you're not. It's going to be awesome. We start our day taking a little stroll down Santa Monica. We see the pier and we go pick up some groceries. We're going out tonight. We got to be looking good. So we're picking up disposable razors. First time in my life that I've needed to do this on a trip.
It happens. It happens.
We'll
Gotta be looking fresh.
We will be.
Somebody forgot his mask.
No, this is chill. This is safe.
We are off to link up with Alex from Wolfgang Poker. You know we couldn't go a day on vacation without playing a poker session for you guys. But today's session is no normal session. Through the beauty of social media, I was able to connect with Capron Funk and the gang. They do more general style vlogs with pranks, challenges, the classic fun stuff, and their content is so amazing. Please go check it out. But on the side, as we all are, they've got the gambling itch. And what a better time than to run a game with these guys at the gang's house where they have a pretty cool table. All right, we just pulled up to the place and Alex told us that we need to see Capron's car. Oh my, it has horns. Oh my god, it's like a Charizard. Capron's car is unbelievable, and it's probably the coolest thing ever. And now let's go inside and play some cards. We get in there and we see an RFID custom-built table for their own home games. They've got the live stream set up, everything in their house. A poker player's dream. And now let's play some 1-2. First hand of our session with the gang, and we're going to start out with the banger, guys. We got Ace King of Diamonds, under the gun +1. We see Jack limp from under the gun. Not sure what he could be doing that with.
I didn't come here to fold. I want to play some hands, see if I can spike something. I make the call as well, and we're off to flop. It's Ace 10-5 with 1 spade. We got the backdoor flush draw, bottom pair. I check it over to Rosie, and he bets
15 on this dry board, and both players call. Off to a turn, which pairs the board. It is a rainbow 5. Pretty inconsequential if you ask me.
Haha, Rosie, you are in for a world of pain. I check, Rosie bets
$55. Capron folds, and Jack makes the call. Off to a river, which is the inconsequential
3 of spades. I know Rosie, and I think he's going to check back a lot of hands like Ace Jack, Ace Queen, Ace 9, and maybe even Ace King. So I decide to lead out here for
$60 now. I'm not quite sure what he could be doing this with. I think top pair, top kicker is a little bit too good to fold on this board texture. We lose to Ace 10. We lose to a 5. I'm not sure what 5 he could possibly have in his range, unless he's a total fish.
He thinks about it for a while, makes a
call, and you know what happens. Jack shows me 5 deuce of spades.
No. Ace King is no good here, sir. We got trips and scooping a nice pot our way to start off the session.
And Jack and I are no longer friends. On to the next one. Thank you.
Loving the next gen on next gen violence. Good job, Jack. I'm in this hand with 2-10, which is our bounty hand for the night, not 2-7. It is 2-10 for a $2 bounty. So I raise it up to $12, and we see a call from the button, which is Jack, the small blind, and the big blind, going to a flop, which comes 6-7 king, 1 diamond. We don't got much, but I bet $25, repping the king, and everyone folds except Capron in the big blind. He makes the call. Going to a turn, which is a jack. He checks to me, and I want to target those pairs of 6s, pairs of 7s. I decide for a bet of $60, and we get a snap fold from Capron. Give me those bounties. Let's go off to the next hand.
While Frankie is scooping in those bounty chips, it's my turn to get a little out of line. People at this table are playing a little bit too tight, in my opinion, so I decide to start mixing it up, getting in there with some hefty 3 bets. We look down at 7 deuce of clubs in the cutoff. Our good buddy Gil in middle position opens it up to $15. I've been 3-betting a lot here, especially against the gang, so why not do it again? I 3-bet here to $45. I think Gil is starting to catch on to it. It folds back around to him. He thinks for a while and 4-bets me the first 4-bet of the game to $125. I quickly make the fold. He tells me I can choose one of his cards to look at, and I pick the 3 of spades. Later, he would tell me that he had
3 deuce of spades. 3 deuce?
Yo, that's a great stream content.
Props to him for 4-betting me light. I love it. Love the move, Gil. Until we look down at 7 deuce offsuit again in the hijack this time. There's a $5 straddle on and Gil limps. It's a sign from the poker gods. If you get a hand twice in a row, you gotta play it. So I open it up to $25 here. Folds back around to Gil. He calls. I have no clue what the flop was, but I bricked it. I still am going to c-bet this flop when he checks to me. I bet 20 and he quickly folds. Got one through on him and made some money right back. Let's keep playing aggressive.
Way to go, Gil. Thank you for putting Jack in his place for playing absolutely garbage hands. We got ace, jack of clubs. Gil, again, opens it up to $10 in middle position. We see Gordy call in middle position. I call with ace, jack of clubs on the button. Shore in the big blind calls as well. 4 ways to a flop, which comes ace, 10, 7 rainbow with 1 club. Gil continues for $30. Gordy folds. Shore folds out of turn, giving me some info. I'm not going anywhere. I make the call. We're heads up to a turn, which is the rainbow 9 of diamonds. We see Gil bet $65, and I'm a little concerned at this point because we can only beat a few ace-x combos, but I'm not going anywhere just yet. I make the call, and we're off to a river, which is the 5 of diamonds. Gil ships it all in for $63. I know I'm getting an absolute hell of a price. I do. But I don't know what I can possibly beat on this board besides the missed 8-9. Every ace can beat me except ace 8, ace 6, and ace deuce through ace 4. And I don't think any of those hands would go for 3 streets of value, especially multi-way to start the hand. I make the fold. Gil lets me flip a card. It's a 5, and he had ace 5. So we made the correct calls. We were ahead, we folded, and we were behind, but that one stings. It's time to rebuy, and hopefully the luck will start to turn for us.
In this hand, I've got the ducks, deuces in the big blind. We see under the gun limp, cut off, caper, and raises up to $16. The button makes the call. The small blind, which is our buddy Wolfgang, Alex makes the call, and I make the call. Under the gun folds, so we're going 4 ways to the flop, which comes 2-9-5. That beautiful set, the best thing in poker. I check to the initial aggressor, and unfortunately this time capering, he checks in the cutoff, so we're going to a turn with no more money in the middle, which is a 6. When it checks to me, I put $25 out there and the cutoff, the button folds, but our buddy Alex does not disappoint us. He raises it up to $60. I want to keep all of his straight draw bluffs in. I'm in position, so I just make the call, going to a river, which is the beautiful 5. I bowed up. What a great card. Now, Wolfgang jams it all in. That's the reason I just checked the turn. I snap call, hoping to snuff out one of his bluffs, but he's got 5-6.
Oh, wait. 5-6.
Oh, that's...
Holy shnikes.
The worst part about playing against vloggers is the phone in your face after you lose. Yeah, no hard feelings. Good job, Wolfgang.
Our best hand so far that we played on this vlog has been 7 high. How about a pair this time? Pocket jellos on the button. There's an under the gun straddle and +1 decides to limp. The cutoff opens it up to $20. I decided to 3-bet here, but 3-bet a little small to $55. Everyone else was really short and I had a deeper stack, so I want to keep them in relatively wide. Folds around to the original limper who makes the call for $55 and the cutoff folds. We're off to flop, heads up in position. It comes 2-8-9 rainbow. Checks to me and I c-bet here, small for $40. He thinks about it and calls. The turn is the 3 of diamonds. It's the second diamond on the board. He's only got about $100 left. I think there's only one move here. I put that chip in and say the 2 beautiful words, all in. He thinks about it for a while, goes into the tank and folds. This is a fun game. We're all playing friendly. I show my hand. He tells me nice hand and we're on to the next one.
We wake up with Jack 10 of clubs under the gun. I open it up to $10 and only Gil on the button calls. We're going heads up to a flop of Queen 9 rainbow with 1 club. We flop open-ended with a backdoor straight draw. I c-bet for $10. He makes the call. The turn is the 4 of clubs, bringing in that backdoor flush draw. I'm going to continue here. I make it 30, and he calls again. I'm planning on barreling nearly every river, regardless of if we get there or not, except this one. It's the Jack of Spades, and what do you think, guys? I think I want to take my showdown value, and this is a card I do check on, and he bets $60. There were a lot of draws. We had a lot of them, but I think a queen would have re-raised us at some point. If he has a queen, so be it. I make the call, and we were right. He had King 9 offsuit We did suck out on him, but I really like our play, checking back the river and barreling both the flop and the turn.
We got Queen Jack offsuit in the hijack. I opened it up to $10. Only the small blind and big blind make the call. We're in position the way I like it. Flop comes Queen 6-10, 2 diamonds and a spade. Checks to me and I bet $10 here. Folds around to the big blind who makes the call. The turn is the 3 of spades. We are heads up. 2 flush draws out there. When he checks to me, I want to be charging all his draws and 10x holding, so I bet $20. He makes the call again. The river, the queen of hearts. We hit trips. There is not any hand I'm really scared about unless he's somehow slow playing a set. I don't think he is though. When he checks to me, I decide to bet big here. I want him to hero call with a 10. I bet $75. He thinks about it, goes well into the tank. He makes a call and we flip it over. We are good, scooping in this nice little pot our way. The ladies, they are loving me.
Ladies and gentlemen, they call him Cash Money Jello for a reason. And this hand we're going to get a little crazy on my end. We see Gus under the gun straddle to 4. Capron limps, shore limps. Gator goes for the min raise to 8. Jack calls in the small blind. I've got 6-9 in the big blind. 6-9 of hearts at that. And I'm going to defend it. I make the call. Gus the straddler folds. And Capron and shore call. A lot of ways, basically, to a flop of 5 queen jack, 2 spades, and a heart. I know, I have nothing. We're done with the hand. But it does check around, giving us a free card, which is the 3 of hearts. Jack checks, and I decide to semi-bluff stab for $20 with my flush draw. In hindsight, I like this play a little bit more if I'm not 5 ways. I think 5 is too many to try this. We see Capron call, and everyone else fold. Heads up to a river, which again gives us this weird amount of showdown value in the 9 of clubs. And again, I try to abandon my bluff and try to get to showdown. I check. Capron will have absolutely none of that. He bets $50. He could have a misdraw. I think this should just be a fold, given that we started 5 ways. He's way more heavy towards value hands here. But I convinced myself he could be messing with me. I make the call. He's not. He's got Queen 9. This hand was very poorly played by me. On to the next one.
Next hand is my favorite of the session. We got King 6 of diamonds in middle position. There's a $5 straddle on. Like I said before, we are erring on the side of aggression today. Betting wide, betting big. I opened it to $16. Capron in the cutoff makes a call, and the button calls as well. Up to flop 3 ways out of position. It comes King 4 Ace Rainbow. Although this board is better for my range, I decide to check this with my pair of kings, and it checks all the way through. We're off to turn, and you're not going to believe it. It is the king of clubs. We are hitting trips left and right, ladies and gentlemen. I decided to bet $10 here. I want to keep it really small. Let even a 4 that's completely drawing dead to call. So I bet 10, Capron calls, and the button calls. My plan is going accordingly. The river, the 9 of clubs, seems very insignificant. I want to continue betting here, but I size up to $45. Capron thinks about it for a while, grabs a stack of green chips, and tosses them in, raising it up to $150. The button's out of the way, and it's back onto me. Ugh, I think this is just a fold. I don't think he's ever going to be bluffing here, and I don't think he's ever going to be raising me here with a worse hand. I go over the action once more in my head before deciding.
He shows the king. Wow. Are you impressed?
Is that a...
That's a lazy fold.
That's pocket 9. It's a dirty raise.
Oh! What a fold.
Wow.
What are these folds?
I thought I could get that.
Oh my gosh, money. What's up, player?
These hero folds are crazy.
Luckily, we were able to get away from this one relatively cheap. Nice hand, Capron. I'm coming for you.
Hell of a fold, Jack. That is tough stuff. This hand, we have red 10s in the big blind. We see Gus straddle under the gun. Capron limps in +1. Folds to Gordy on the button, who bumps it up to $20. Gets to me. I will be re-raising. I 3-bet to 80 in the big blind. Capron folds. And Gordy goes into the tank on this flop and makes the call. I do not think he's particularly strong because of this tank, but honestly, it doesn't matter about any of that analysis. When the flop comes, the stone cold cojones in 5-10 deuce with 2 spades. I decide to check for deception. Gordy takes the bait and bets 125. I consider raising, but don't want to scare away his bluffs. I make the call. Turn is not my most favorite card. It's the queen of spades. Brings in the front door flush. Queens pass us. I check. And Gordy rips it all in for 115 effective. Obviously, not in love with the turn card, but no real way we're going to fold here. I make the call. He was bluffing. He had ace-jack offsuit. He's not dead. A king will give him a straight, and we will run this twice. First board, 9 of clubs. Second board, 6 of hearts. We scoop a massive pot, get all the way out of the hole, and I love poker again.
What a massive pot from Rosie. Now it's my turn in a $10 bomb pot. We're off to 2 boards, 8, 4, 5, and 6, 5 ace. We have absolutely nothing on both boards, but we have a few straight draws. Luckily, it checks through. We're going to get 2 free turn cards. First one is the 6 of diamonds. Hello there. We hit the nuts. Turn on the bottom board is the 4 of hearts. Now we have an open ender on that board too. We are feeling good. Gordy goes all in before I even have a chance to act for $40 total. He was short stacked. I decide to raise here, charge any sort of draws. I raise it up to $100, hoping to God that someone has a 7 and I can punish them. Folds all the way around to Wolfgang on the button. He makes the call for $100, so I'm feeling good. I'm hoping he's got that 7. Everyone else folds. We're off to 2 rivers. It's the 5 of hearts on the top board. It pairs it, so now I'm losing to any sets on that board. Bottom board is the 3 of hearts. We now hit the straight on the bottom board, but the flush draw did come in. I'm not too worried about that though. I've got $400 left in my stack and Wolfgang's got me covered. I'm going to over pot bet it here. I jam all in for $400, targeting any sort of hand that has a 7 in it. He goes into the tank and says there's no way I can have him on both boards. He calls and flips over King 7 offsuit, the dream situation. We are going to quarter him here. I've got the nut straight on the top board and we both have a straight on the bottom board. Kind of a cooler situation, and we scoop in this massive pot. 3/4 of it going our way.
For the last hold'em hand of the night, I opened the $7 plus 1 with ace-6 suited, plus 2 re-raises to me. What's up, Gata? He makes it $14, a min raise. Jack makes the call on a hijack, small blind, and the big blind call. I'm going nowhere for $7 more. I make the call. The flop comes 5, Jack, Ace, Rainbow. I check, and when Gata checks, that takes me off Ace King, Ace Queen out of his hand, so that's good news. And the rest of the boys actually check around. We're going to the turn. The turn's an 8. When it checks to me, I decide to bet here to $25, trying to get value from now a club draw, or I'm trying to get value from kings, queens, and 10s from Gata. And he makes the call, and the rest of the players fold, so we're going mono-e-mono to a river card, which is a beautiful 6. All better aces now lose to my 2 pair. I think I 100% have him beat, so I go for a very large sizing, trying to get max value, also trying to make it look like a bluff. He makes the call. Let's go.
Way to get some value there, Frankie. I've been missing playing the mixed games from Hideaway, so we're throwing it back for the last hand of the night. We decided to play a pineapple hand. That is where you make pre-flop bets, you make flop bets, and then after the flop, you discard one of your 3 cards that you were dealt, and then it's hold'em from then on out. We look down at Queen, Queen 6. We decided to all put in $5 pre-flop instead of doing pre-flop bets. We're off to flop. It comes Ace, Queen 3. We hit middle set on a rainbow board. I'm loving life. Checks to me and I bet $15. Only the button makes a call. This is the dad of the gang. We've been battling all night. The turn brings an offsuit king. I decide to keep betting here, but I bet pretty small, $30. He quickly makes a call, thinking he has some sort of ace in his hand. When the river comes off the ace of hearts, it pairs the ace, and now we've got a boat. I don't think he's got a queen in his hand because I know where 3 of those cards are. I think he's got an ace though. I want to target those. He's got about $160 left in his stack. I decide for an over pot bet again. I jam it all in for $160. I've got him covered. He snap calls and flips over ace queen. Ouch. He coolers us to end the night. Luckily, he did not have me covered or else this pot would have gotten massive. It's time to wrap up the session. Thank you so much to the gang for having us out. This was a great time and super fun. We still end up cashing for $640. That was awesome. Just wrapped up our session playing with the gang.
Yeah, played with the gang and Capron, and I gotta say, those guys can play cards. I mean, we've played a lot of poker. Those guys made some great folds and some great plays. I was impressed.
Yeah, they were really good. I was into the game for $500 and I was out for $457. Small loss.
I got in the game for $500, out for just under $1,100.
I lost $7. I'm more than happy with that.
We are doing a special game with some amazing guests. Looking forward to it.
We knew.
Okay.
That's classic. That's classic. That's classic. Okay.